Does this note sound evil to you? Okay. Not really, it's the root note of a major scale. Many a nursery rhyme begins on that. Okay. Now, does the same note sound evil to you? I'll ask the same question. Well, it certainly sounds sinister now. It sounds very heavy metal, or it sounds, mysterious or dark. That, my friends, when played in that kind of manner, is known as Diabolus in Musica, the devil in music. And that particular note was once banned, okay, by the church in medieval times, okay. It was decreed as the note of the devil. Brr. And what goes on is, in a major scale, it is the flattened fifth degree, okay. So we have our root note, and then we go up a tone, another tone, and another tone. The tone on a guitar being the distance of 2 frets. Okay, so in jazz circles it's known as the tritone, okay, because you got 3 tones, and what it is, it's symmetrical. And what goes on is this: if I played nothing but tones, you would get what is called a whole tone scale, which is a great soloing tool over dominant 7th chords. Now here I am talking theory and all that sort of business, but this particular note, the flattened 5th degree, was once banned, okay? So what goes on, it is all in the nature of distance, okay? Now what I'm getting at with distance is that I could frame that same note, right? That note there, that one, okay? I could frame that as a root note. Okay? And no problems at all. I could frame exactly that note, and I could have it banned by the church if I was playing lute or some such thing in the Middle Ages, if I framed it as this. Okay, so if I went from octave to octave, then added the flattened 5, I am now playing Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, and the great group Black Sabbath of the 70s. Godfathers of heavy metal and all of that sort of stuff, along with Led Zeppelin and all that sort of great bands, Deep Purple, all that sort of stuff. But what it also is in jazz is what's often known as the blue note. It puts the blue into blues music, you see. So this particular note, the flattened 5th, is a controversial note. How can you call a note controversial? It's just a note. It's a note, okay? It's only when you put other things around it that it becomes evil. And you see? Scary. But if I do it like... corny rather than evil. So there you go. What it is it's the nature of distance. Now I'm talking about music being banned, a note being banned once upon a time. I mean, talk about a victory of the Philistines, if you want to think about it like that. But the thing is, it's the nature of distance, okay? And what I mean by distance is how you frame it. Something that is so innocent, okay, like a little garden gnome, okay, and you can just frame it with another garden gnome, and all of a sudden there is intent, okay? Now what goes on is the garden gnome by itself is a garden gnome. It's $14 at your local supermarket or your local gardening store. But the thing is, you put it with something else and all of a sudden people think it's evil. But the thing is, it's the intent. It's what you intend to do with that object, or in this case, this note. Now what goes on with this is that we're just talking about one innocent little note. What got it banned from the church in medieval times was its intent, its distance, okay? Now how can you call that evil? But if you do this, it sets up a vibration, you see, between the two octaves, you see. So if we're talking, say, E to E, okay, the flattened fifth degree is a B flat. But B flat is pretty much your home key for any, sort of jazz tune or anything like that. So the B flat by itself is a complete innocent, the thing is. But when you frame it in other things, people have trouble with it. But the thing is, it's still just a note. The distance is the important thing to understand. The intent of it and all of that sort of stuff. So that is a flattened fifth degree, and what goes on, if you just frame tones as they go up, like so, what you have then is a whole tone scale, which is the home scale of many Asian cultures, such as, like a Japanese music and all that sort of stuff, certain areas of Chinese music, using the pentatonic scale, which is probably the most used scale in the world. And all you have to do is take a pentatonic scale, okay, and add the flattened fifth degree, evil, and all of a sudden you have a blues, 12-bar blues. Now if you start calling blues evil, I don't know what's wrong with you. Because when I was growing up, this little riff here was the theme to Courageous Cat, which was an old cartoon that I used to watch when I was a little tacker, you see. So the thing is, I'll put something together with the evil tone. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what it is the flattened fifth.